Do you know how to find deals? Do you know how to manage tenants? How about manage contractors? If you've learned all of these skills with real estate investing, you are on the cusp of some pretty amazing business skills. Bo, you are the concierge to small business loans. What do you think about finding deals and managing people? Are those the keys to running a small business?
Well, I think solid real estate investors definitely have a leg up in the home service and B2B space in the franchise world and business ownership world. So you already have skills that most people don't because you've managed rehabs, you understand how to work with contractors and get and project manage. And I think that is a crucial skill in these franchises that people are looking at, and it integrates well. So let's just say you're a house flipper, and the problem with the business is maybe not consistent. You're doing two or three a year, and you're doing well, but now you're like, well, I've got crews, I've got people, I've got connections in the industry. Why not vertically integrate a bolt-on business, some sort of home service B2B type of business that would align, potentially find you deals? For example, I was watching a young gentleman who had a dumpster business. He would do junk removal,
Hmm.
and his real focus was buying deals, and that's how he got the deal. So I think there's a lot of those types of plays.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've often wondered, this channel, my community, obviously very much real estate focused. A lot of folks are like me, where we had full-time jobs and we were just truly investors. But I got to imagine there's 35% of my community that work in the real estate space somehow, some way. And I'm always like, man, if that was my thing, if I didn't go to college, right? If I jumped out of high school, got into real estate in the service game, it would be so powerful to have those bolt-on business. And it's funny you brought up dumpsters because I've often thought about that. I know, I've talked to a guy who has a dumpster company, and sure, he gets calls to clean out hoarder houses and all of that. But he's like, I get 2 deals a year, and he's not even trying, right? He gets 2 deals a year, and some of them are seller financed. And there's just a lot of things. You're a real estate agent, right? You're escrow, you're an appraiser, you're a painter. There's all of these other industries you can bolt on and get increased revenue streams, profit streams, cash flow, and really complement your business. You can really start to add services, right? And sure, we're in a recession or maybe depression for real estate transactions, but we won't be here forever. And the person that builds the number of streams will get more lead flow, be able to offer better value, and really go gangbusters, right? Generally speaking, recessions are a couple of years and expansions are 12 years. So again, yes, it's tough right now. Yes, it's hard. Yes, a lot of people left the industry, but man, this is the time to skill up, invest in these other streams of income, and you can go gangbuster in the next cycle.
Yeah, I think the key. I remember we were at lunch and we were talking about your 17 revenue streams or whatever it was.
Hmm.
But I think what you should do, like just from my perspective, is it shouldn't be like 17 different streams. Like they're all related, right? Like they come. You don't want to be too spread out, but I think if that's why I always talk about this word vertically integrated, right? Um, and just some ideas. You might own a cleaning franchise, a cleaning business. You might own a restoration company. You might own a handyman business. You might own a painting company, a commercial painting company, a landscape company, a dumpster company. There's like so many different verticals you can go within real estate. And maybe you have interest and you're already, if you're already working a W-2 job and you manage 20 people and you're a real estate investor on the side, then you probably can run a
Yeah.
business as well. So
Oh, for sure.
don't get spread thin, but find something that you could vertically integrate. And I think that's kind of the secret of being able to. Because the other day I got a new car. Well, I didn't get a new car. I got an old car. My dad was getting a new car, and I like his. He has an older Explorer, but I like it. And they were going to give him $1,000 at the
Hmm.
dealership for it. I'm like, I'll take it. Give it to me.
Oh, here's the
So
$1,000, Dad. We're good.
yeah. So it runs really good, and I just like it. And I'm like, okay, I can take my dog in this car, not in my newer car.
There you go. That
Uh,
makes sense.
um, but when I went to it, like I'm not going to DMV because it's like a waste of time. So I looked up an expediter, And there are these companies right across the street from where I live. There's a gas station and there's like the service. So I went in there and I was talking to the guy and it was his business. And like, sure enough, I just, I paid $300, right? And that seemed high for this service. But then I'm like, well, it's probably going to take like 3 hours of my time, and I hate DMV.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what's $100 an hour? I forgot why I was bringing that point up, but it was I think, I guess the point when I was talking to him, he's an entrepreneur. He like
Right.
owns an insurance brokerage, and then he saw an opportunity in this. And then when I was in there, I was talking to him. I was drilling with questions. I'm like, "This is awesome business." I'm like, "You're charging me $300, and how much time does he have in the business, right?" Like, and so like, here's a guy that like he just thought about it, still owns another business, and could do it. So I just find it like it gets more and more interesting as you talk to more people about like how they started their business or how they got into their vertical.
Yeah, and again, the thing that I look at, coming in the near future with all the change in the economy, AI, and just the ability to be, I think one of the things we're going to see going forward is the solopreneur, right? I think we're going to see solopreneurs with other angles and other business services. And when I think about how you tie that in with real estate, there's just the capital component, right? You don't need to have an office building, you don't need to have storage, but if you start creating these other streams, it wouldn't hurt to get a building and then lease it out 50% to your companies and do these other components. And then obviously there's, we've talked about vending a lot on this machine. It's kind of the entree to a lot of W-2 employees. They like vending machine because it's an hour a week per machine or whatever it is. And I just think more and more people need to look up and look for other options, right? I think, the 1950s, you work one place for 40 years and get the gold watch is obviously dead and gone, but even more so today with technology changing. I do think solopreneurs or we're going to have a lot more solopreneurs coming, and it's going to be fun to watch, I think.
Yeah. And I think right now you have to be a little bit more patient in real estate because people are asking way too much for their homes in a market where I don't know if I would, right? Like, and so like, and the conversations I have are people that are, I'm speaking of one rental people that call, they're all usually pretty successful in their own right, meaning they have a good job. They probably own two, the average person I talk to owns 2 rental properties. So they're way ahead of the average Joe. But like some of them are starting to say, well, I'm going to go out of state investing. I'm like, well, I don't know if that's the best option. And
I've been there, done that. Let me tell you the story.
And then I go, just look at the vending, this new vending. It's like tax write-off. It's got all the things and you can't, I haven't found a way to leverage like that and get cash flow in a similar manner. But I think it's also frustrating for people because if you're in a full-time job, it's hard to be a deal finder too, right? Like you got to be like disciplined to write like offers, right? It's a job to find deals. And I think people get like a little bit frustrated and also you haven't bought a property in 2 years, right? Or give or take. So you're extremely patient. I mean, you're not in a rush by any means. Like some people,
I'm also certainly not working as hard as I used to, but yes,
right,
this is true.
Like you would have probably bought one if you were working harder.
No, I could have. There was a deal I had about a month ago, actually with Lennar, that if I was really running and gunning, I would have closed that deal. But I got a little greedy and wanted 21% off instead of 19. I would have taken 19 if I was running and gunning. Would have had 3 brand new houses, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it. I think a lot of people don't have the, when they're looking, they're like, hey, I got 50 grand. All right. And what do I do with that 50 grand? Do I put it down on a down payment on one house? Like, will that move me one step to financial freedom? Of course it will. But can you take that 50 grand and get with the SBA financing and get into a business? Yes, you can. So there's like, I think like if you're in that position where you're not making, you're an average wage earner, like I would definitely bet on owning a business right now because I think that's the fastest way to get cash flow where you can then invest in real estate because that goes back to the triangle principle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot in that triangle method. And again, I think what we're going to see going forward over the next couple of decades is, again, I think I said it earlier, the solopreneur is something that I think is going to be game changing in the next couple of decades. We're going to have a lot more quote unquote companies, but they're going to have a lot less people. right? They're going to be a solopreneur with 2 VAs. They're going to be a 2 or 3 person team, and you're going to be able to get so much more done. So it's just going to, the more people, the more business lines, the more you're known, the personal brand, creating content like you and I do, it's just going to open up the door for more and more options.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I was taking some short form video content. I was learning from the guys from School of Hard Knocks, where they go up and they're like 23 years old. They've had like, I don't know, billions of views, and like it's so interesting because there's a bunch of younger guys and gals in this Zoom thing I was on, and I was like, this is so interesting because like, so people are now thinking about like they're a creator, and it's a business,
It is.
and granted, it's a lot of people going in. Many people never make money from it, but if you have a local business or you provide services like I do, right? Like you can go on YouTube. I closed my biggest commission this year from a stinking YouTube video. So I'm like, this is like fire. I mean, like, come on, guys. Like you write a script out, you bullet point it, and you kind of know what you're going to talk about it, cut the editing. And now they're going back to like, my VAs were doing fancy editing. You don't even need to do fancy editing. People want authentic.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So anyways,
very cool.
It's such a good time. Like right now, I'm more excited now than ever.
Yeah.
I think the saying I'm going to have is, get rich in 2026.
Get rich in 2020. Ooh, I like that. That's cool.
I kind of hacked that from somebody, and
That's
he's already
right.
rich. He said it. But that's right. Like that's the saying. So it's all mindset.
In 2026. I like it. Well, Bo, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, get something started, ask some questions about options, what are we doing?
Usually we have a banner on the screen right now.
It's coming.
It says onerentalmeeting.com. Go to onerentalmeeting.com. Let's talk about vending. Let's talk about business acquisitions, franchise resales, franchise startups, building a self-storage unit, buying an RV park, buying a marina. I mean, you can do a lot with SBA financing. It is the most untapped financing tool in the nation. $1 million business acquisition with as little as $50,000 out of pocket. That $50,000 can come from Michael Zuber or me. We haven't closed on it yet, but I'm going to own another piece of a business. We're getting into the restoration, tile and grout restoration business. It's going to be not local to me, but I'm a passive investor in it. I'm going to own, I don't know what I'm going to own. I think I'm going to own like 12% of the business. Nice. So there's options. You might have money. You can find an operator, like kind of what we did. So
there you go. Check out Bo, onerentalmeeting.com. Get your 15 minutes. See what's right for you. Ask questions. Better to know than not. It's called the idiot tax. Might as well make the call and see what's right for you. Bo, you're amazing. Take care.
Thank you.